everyone. Welcome back to the 2018 HGC Finals group stage. We're just getting things warmed up here in the Blizzard Arena. We got some excited fans out here, I know. Thank you for being here with us in person. If you are local, you need to get down here. We're at the Blizzard Arena here in Burbank, California. It's gonna be an awesome weekend. Like I said, just getting started. We just saw North America take a 2-0 victory over Taiwan, Tempo Storm over Luna Meow. Up next, Korea takes on EU for the first time in this tournament. That's the third seed Miracle taking on Team Liquid, second seed out of EU. Let's head over to the desk with our analysts and Gillyweed to get it all started.
That's right, it'll be no tall task to bring you this next match, or maybe it will be a tall task. We're gonna be soaring to new heights with this next series, Liquid versus Miracle. I'm saying they're really tall, okay? I'm at a desk with a bunch of tall people. It's gonna be a good match though. Welcome to the Desk Toucher, and Jay, what do you think about that last one?
I was excited. I don't know if I probably had to hold back a little because I'm excited that North America got off to such a great start. Tempo Storm, they put a lot of pressure on themselves before, so I was very excited that they came out and they're like, okay, we can be a dominant team. We don't just have to win, we can do it dominantly. That was a good start for them.
Same. I absolutely enjoyed that. Seeing the whole Medivh Arthas combo, an absolute classic. Seeing it busted out once again and just being so destructive. Like, you saw the potential for counter from Luna Meow with the Junkrat mine, and it never came to pass because Tempo executed really effectively. So I was happy with that game.
Yeah, even in the Apocalypse, just anything and everything they could do to possibly deal with it. But by that point, even, and in the last game too, multiple level leads before Luna Meow even gets to heroic abilities makes it a really difficult comeback. And because of that win, Tempo Storm are currently leading their group. That's because that's the only match that has been played today. But you can see they did get the 2-0, which gives them that oh so important extra point. And you see the cutoff point. You got to be in the top 4 by the end of the 4-day group stage if you're going to make it to BlizzCon.
Absolutely, you have to get out of that bottom 2 position, Luna Meow. They've now got some work to do, but the next 2 teams we have, they've also got a little bit of work to do. They're going to want to try and keep up with Tempo Storm because every single point matters. A 1-1 isn't going to be acceptable for these teams.
Yeah, and looking at today's schedule, up next is one of the best looking series I think we have today. Team Liquid versus Miracle. Miracle has beaten Gen.G not just once, but twice this phase. They are here to stay. They're proving their point. We are going to talk a lot about them because that's not the only thing they did to shake up Korea. Whereas Team Liquid, they're on the upswing, a team that we should just get started right away with Team Liquid, I think, because for a long time they've been trying to make it here. They've been trying to make it to BlizzCon, make it to the HGC Finals, and I think we all can remember Gamescom 2 years ago where My Insanity at the time, they were so strong in the earlier global championships, but then starting to peter out that really sad tiebreaker match.
Absolutely, they weren't able to take victories, and this has been the story of this team.
Oh, misfits, my mistake.
We've been seeing in the gaps how they've never been able to make it to this kind of big BlizzCon stage. They still haven't technically made it, so we'll have to see on that, but this is looking good for them. During the interviews, a lot of the Korean teams said that maybe Liquid were the team that they were most scared of, and that gives us a lot of interesting points for this matchup.
Yeah, it's surprising maybe to hear that, considering the fact that Dignitas have been the dominant force in Europe for so long, but what Liquid has always brought, Jay-How, is that extra flavor, those Liquid picks like Lunara, like Hasuab's Vikings even.
Everything that Hasuab's does is a lot of control around that battleground. It's so strong for them, and you know everything that about Team Liquid is more of the macro base. They can team fight. Ever since Sport Billy came to this roster, I think they've been far more aggressive than they ever have. The best drafts they've had in quite some time. I really like this roster. Gilly, I was talking to several NA teams because Team Liquid came to North America to scrim, and there were several teams that outside of, say, Tempo Storm, that were out there that were practicing against them, and all I could hear was, man, this Team Liquid team is really good. I mean, this is some of the best in North America going up against this Team Liquid team here, and they had nothing but praise, and they were like, why? And you have that early advantage, right? The first time you play them, the second time you play them, they're doing things differently, right? And it's too hard to catch up. This is a 2-game set, so that plays very well for what Liquid loves to do.
Well, part of that has been Arcaner coming to the team, but also he's been picking up more of the drafting for the team.
He really has. He's come over to the team back onto a role he's significantly more comfortable on as well, and you can absolutely see it. He's been coming into his own, has been pulling off plays, especially with the help of Nurok, also going through a bit of a role swap there, who has also just been performing so well. This team, like you said, they are on the upturn. Now that they finally seem to have found where they are comfortable, they look like a completely different team, but still with that same style and flair.
And their opponents, Miracle, also on a big ol' upswing. I remember back when Miracle, still the sister team of Gen G, MVP Black at the time, they ended up upsetting and making it to the grand finals of the first Gold Club World Championship. And then Tist and Reset were brought in to the A team, you might say. But then since then, Miracle has been putting in the work. And Jay, I know you're a Ballistics fan, and it's sad not to see Ballistics here, but Miracle have proven that there's more than just the top 3 in Korea now.
Yeah, I went back and I watched that series multiple times. I watched every single game, and I'm like, all right, what was it that Miracle was able to do to take down Ballistics? Mind you, they have Nacho Gen, world champion here 2 years ago, so they've got that veteran experience, but everything they did, they capitalized on every single mistake. When I went and watched, say, Towers of Doom, they forced out rotations. They did things a little different than the traditional Korean team, but they still have the Korean aggression that we know to play. And Frankel, I mean, I started hearing Snitch, talk about this guy. The minute he comes up to Miracle, it's like, wait a minute, like this guy should be the all-star. They put a lot into him. A lot of the drafts are, look, we'll draft around you. We'll put you on these hard-hitting heroes. You do a lot. The rest makes a lot happen. Frankel comes in. He's the guy that really carries this team, and I think he was the big X factor. He's the big name. If you don't know this name now, you're going to know it after this weekend. But I think right now for them, a lot of it is capitalize on mistakes, forcing out rotations, and then playing off the strengths of their full team dynamic, but with Frankel on the backside.
I mean, can I just say, Gen G, Tempest, Ballistics, and now we have to deal with a 4th ridiculously strong Korean team. The West is never going to win a tournament ever again if they keep it up. Like, this is a big deal now that for the first time we don't see Ballistics here. We see Miracle being the big difference maker, and I think this is going to do a lot, not only to shake things up as for heroes as we know it, but even in the Korean region too. And I'm excited to see what Miracle can do here. But before we get into the draft, one person I want to talk about, and we already kind of talked about how important it was for Liquid to make BlizzCon, but Hasuabs joined Mouse Sports for Warcraft 3 back in 2003. 15 years ago, Hasu has been playing, competing, trying to make the big tournament. BlizzCon, make it here, because that's what it's all about when you are as in love with Blizzard games as we are. Tetcher, this is a huge moment for Hasu.
It is absolutely a huge one. You said he's been playing esports for almost over half the time I have been alive. He is a Blizzard game specialist, as it was said in the Road to BlizzCon finals. And seeing him getting now so close again, you can't help but root for this guy. But on the alternate side, Sniper as well, making a bit of a return from a very long time ago.
Oh yeah, 2015 BlizzCon, losing not only to Cloud9, but also Team DK. He's the only returning member from that, and it's his first time back, so we'll see. He is in the same group as someone known as Fan, so I'm really looking forward to that match. Let's get into the Battleground pool for this second best of 2 of today, as we have bans on Brax's Holdout, also Battlefield of Eternity, and we're going to Towers of Doom.
I love this pickup. This was where I saw them execute probably the best in that final series. Now, we mentioned those other 3 teams. They also took down a team called Blossom. So Blossom, they're pretty good. True. I mean, they went through the grinder to get there. I mean,
my heart.
That's how good this team is, right? They deserve to be here, and this is one of their better battlegrounds. The rotations that they had, some of the things that they did was very disciplined. But they controlled a lot. They had a very good mindset on what they wanted to do. They controlled, even from the outset, that first Sapper camp, the same we saw again with Tempo Storm. Miracle does something similar, and they do it their own way. So I'm really looking forward to how they execute on this battleground.
Now, both of these teams have been more than willing to draft Thrall, so I'm wondering where Thrall is going to fit for this. It's Hasuab's most played. It's also Sniper's most played, so they also like fitting it in as heavy melee style aggressive compositions. And I think one of the coolest things about Miracle is how much space their frontline, Nacho Gen and Judy, create for the backliners. Frankel is great, yes, but Frankel is enabled so much because he has the world to play with because they make so much space. So I'm ready to see what we get Judy on. His Garrosh, I think it's undefeated in the phase, which is also just absolutely amazing. Let's get into the draft.
Gilly, the Garrosh Diablo, both of them terrifying. When he gets Diablo, they get a little bit more playful with their draft. I started going through. That's when they can bring in the mages. They bring in the Ana. The last 2 games that they played to qualify were with the Ana, but it requires the Diablo, who's kind of self-sufficient on that front line, doesn't require as much attention.
Where's my Mephisto? Am I right?
It's possible, and also another one that we were talking about before the show started, the Ana from Blue Beetle could absolutely come out depending on the draft. They brought it out in the final series as well, and it was absolutely convincing. But in this case, it is going to be let through the bans, at least, as they are focusing the only support ban so far onto that Tyrande, which, to be fair, was instrumental for Liquid to beat out Method in their during their league phase.
Well, the Garrosh will be there for Sport Billy. He's done so well on the front line, and they instantly go into that. They have the Diablo. They're going to pick it up with the Li Ming. Maybe the Ana will be appealing down the road, but this is what they do. They get the Ana, they can empowers a mage, and then Diablo on that front line. So right now, it feels like both these teams get in exactly what they want. I think Team Liquid, though, when we look at this battleground, could have some sneaky things still to come, but the Dahaka Rainer, very standard so far.
Yep, gives them a little bit of global potential on a map where globals are so important. Honestly, kind of surprising to not see Abathur banned out yet for that reason, but the priorities and the counter bans are taking priority in this particular matchup so far. And with that Rainer, they already have a great amount of CC and a very strong double front line. They've given him a lot of freedom.
I feel like Eternal doesn't miss drags, you know? He hits a lot of drags.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to see Eternal come in and play Dahaka for their first game at BlizzCon. Bans on Zeratul, and then, sorry guys, no Ana today.
Yeah.
But this is a lot of good research from Team Liquid, right? And Team Liquid pointed out to us how important research is to the Garrosh denial, and now banning out Ana.
It shows respect, and for good reason, but that lets Deckard Cain through. With Tyrande, Ana now banned out, Deckard Cain taken away, it still means we have white main, so you'll still have some pretty solid choices here. But it's interesting to see how the support priority goes down, and you already mentioned it, Gilly, that Thrall coming in for Miracle, and this doesn't even have to be the solo laner. They have repeatedly run it as a extra damage hero in the 4-man and had a separate solo laner like the Blaze.
The cool thing is that with the Deckard there, the slows that come in, as we get a Tracer pick up here. But Deckard has done very well to control the likes of a Garrosh with that slow. It's nice. Garrosh has to forcefully walk in most of the time. Deckard does get that slow out, but the Tracer here, putting the Tracer in there, you do have a lot of targets. And there's going to be the Blaze. That will give you the bunker potential. But when you look at Thrall, you look at Deckard, you look at Li Ming, they are targets. But I can tell you one thing that we saw last year. I think Fan knows a little bit about going against a Breeze Diablo when he played Tracer on this battleground. If you get anywhere near those walls, I mean, Diablo is just like, thank you, I'm coming in. So with Tracer, you got to be very careful in how you position yourself to try and make those big plays.
And let's look at the protection here for that Tracer. The Malfurion healing over time is the standard here, but outside of that, you're really only looking at the Nature's Cleanse, which is a less effective version of Cleanse, very reactive, and the Into the Fray from Garrosh. Otherwise, it's all down to the healing of the two frontliners.
Yeah, and there's things that both Li Ming and Thrall could be picking that would help out with some of the pulse bomb damage, not necessarily Quantum Spike, of course, because it goes through armor, but still being able to deal with that. Plus the bunker now is the adaptation in, and as we had talked about Thrall coming in and being a sniper's hero, more so over Nacho Gen. Nacho's going to be able to, along with Judy, provide a lot of space for them, but it's about trying to get around that. Does Liquid have enough to get around that, do you think?
It feels like it, you know, when I watch Tracer play DAB, one of my favorite EU players, they run it, and I think on a map like this, it's just the careful positioning. That's what you really have to matter, because one CC follow-up is all it takes for Li Ming and Frankel to just have that priority target. It's a scary prospect running a Tracer against the Diablo, but Liquid's looked so good lately, I can definitely support it.
Well, I am so pumped for this match, so let's get into it. We're heading over the casters for our second match of the day, Team Liquid versus Miracle.
Gilly, you might be pumped, but we're equally as pumped over here as we get ready for this big match. Miracle taking on Team Liquid. Team Liquid got a lot of picks that I think are very good for them, but Miracle, they got 3 of their big home run hitters.
You give Li Ming over to Miracle, and it makes you feel okay when you have the Ana ban behind that, but there's so much siege potential, there's so much bell tower control potential in the comp that is drafted. Sniper's Thrall has been insanely consistent throughout Phase 2 of HGC Korea, and I'm really liking what Miracle has brought to the table, despite Team Liquid clearly having the preparation, knowing what Miracle wanted to run, but I still think they got the better end of the deal here.
Well, over on the left side, Blue Beetle on Deckard Cain, Frankel on Li Ming, Judy on Diablo, Nacho Gen on Blaze, Sniper on Thrall, and here on the right side, you will have a Team Liquid all the way from Europe. Sport Billy on Garrosh, Nurok on Malfurion, Hospitals on Rainer, Arcaner on Tracer, and Eternal to show off some Dahaka.
Good to see that power hungry coming out for Li Ming, and one of the reasons why Li Ming is so heavily prioritized in Korea is not just the rise of Ana, but her ability to delay the altar channels on this map as well as siege and eventually push down that bottom bell tower. Very difficult to deal with if that starts snowballing out of control. And when you've got Diablo too, you always feel like when Team Liquid's going to try to rotate to deal with that pressure, you've got pick potential. Judy though, caught here.
Yeah.
Absolutely certainly going down. That's first blood for Team Liquid.
I mean, Gilly spoke about it. Eternal, when he has the opportunity and he has that drag available, he is going to land it. And with Sport Billy, on one of his best tanks in the HGC, he is able to follow up, get that throw, toss someone into a turret, and Team Liquid actually finds first blood against Team Miracle.
That's right. Gilly talked about the history of this team and their success back in the Gold Club World Championship, but this is not the same roster. In fact, this is a team of rookies plus Nitrogen, of course, the champion of 2 years ago, and Sniper, who failed in 2015. But Judy, he's never played an international event before. This is his first time playing on a big stage against these veterans on Team Liquid. So, you know, there's definitely some nerves that need to be ironed out
That's
in
typically
moments like this.
a Diablo thing, too. You always walk up in the early game thinking you're that big, tanky monster that has your souls built up. And you're like, wait a minute. A little bit of CC comes my way and I get blown up. I expect him to relax a little bit and, of course, get set up for the later stages. Now, Team Liquid is starting the usual thing we see in Europe. You move immediately straight to the sappers, and you think about an immediate follow-up into an invade afterwards. Now, also, another thing about Team Liquid to consider is they love going to the late game on this battleground. They may give up, even with the global, an extra tribute here and there.
Looked like Miracle wanted to go for a top lane invade there, try to get that gank onto the Dahaka, but it does not actually get committed to fully. And that's going to, of course, allow these sappers to push through with really no recourse. Do finally see that rotation back down here for Judy, but it looks, again, that Miracle is going to give this camp up. They have to deal with the sappers in lane. So the timing here, this European style you talk about, ends up working out very well for Team Liquid in terms of that lane pressure. Li Ming is not hitting towers in the bottom lane, she's sitting in the mid lane, which is much less significant because you're always really going to be contesting for that bot bell tower. So in that regard, Team Liquid's ahead.
Yeah. A wise give up there for Miracle as well. With Dahaka being on the field, you have that global pressure that can come at any point. No major reason to risk it. Going to level 10 is your main goal, so doing that as safely as possible with the composition that Miracle has is in their best interest. So they wait around, but we are about to have our 3 ultra spawns in about 25 seconds, and we'll see how this will go down for both of our teams.
Yeah. You can see that mid lane's taking some damage from Li Ming. It's just never as valuable as the bottom lane. And Dahaka is going to be so fantastic.
Sniper.
Oh, Sniper, he's caught, he's pulsed as well. No way out of this one. You always feel invulnerable when you've got the Sundering post 10, but at level 5 here, you're not getting out of that one. So nice rotation here from Team Liquid. But with Dahaka, you can set up to trade the top and then get 2 of 3 with that global presence. We already do see a rotation up here from Miracle. They don't want to let Eternal get this for free. There's the deny. Meanwhile, though, with all this pressure up at the top, the bottom is given. So still massive advantages here for Team Liquid.
Might be overstepping here. It gets tossed right into Eternal, who will land the drag. Now, he will have the armor coming out, but Raynor is just showing away. Some pepper left and right. Nitrogen trying to get away. A big groundbreaker comes in for Sport Billy. Can they get another kill? They do. Team Liquid has 3-0 over the Korean team.
Yeah, this is a massive lead for the European squad, and they will channel the win the 2 of 3 here. And they also, again, have this control over the bottom bell tower wall. As you can see here, Frankel just has to sit back and defend, use his sieging power defensively, not offensively, which is where the Li Ming priority is in Korea, is for that siege power. And as this goes on, Team Liquid is going to eventually wear down that second cannon tower, start chipping away at the bell tower. They're already heading towards 10 first. They have globals, or a global in this Dahaka. So it's a really bad look for Miracle before 10 right now, where they have that combo potential with Li Ming. They have the ability to set up, stay a while, and listen. But the Diablo pick has just been so weak for them in this early game.
It's building up. We're certainly moving toward that level 10, but I do like that you bring up the bottom bell tower being weathered down over time. That's a huge issue for Miracle. I mean, you look over to their team, and how do you take back that bell tower? Li Ming, while she can't siege away and has safety, she's not going to destroy quickly. Hang on, though. Team Liquid may get into a fight here in the middle, and this is where Miracle loves to engage. They love to have their team fights, but with Eternal coming over, he lands a drag. Hasselhoff gets in the auto attack. There's a pulse bomb on the back line, too. Nitrogen goes to the jet propulsion, but misses out. No one falls.
You know, it's a pretty good trade here for Miracle, I think, overall. They've got the Decker to heal everybody up. Had that orb actually connect. Oh, that thought. Nitrogen gonna go down here.
Arcaner's got this. No, we
God.
Wow.
They missed the Q. Unfortunate. But yeah, it was a good trade, I think, overall. That orb connected onto Garrosh. Just barely missed at maximum range. Maybe they get a kill there. That Hearth is going to be painful. At least they don't lose the Blaze there. But, you know, Nitrogen having to come all the way back here. It's a long run back. Meanwhile, Dahaka getting extra soak in the top lane. Tracer picking up some minions there. Team Liquid not only setting up for a threatening bell tower contest, but also moving towards that level 10.
There's going to be some time that needs to be bought here by Team Liquid. That Roshtalker was using that last team fight, so I don't expect them to go fully aggressive here, but just to buy some time for Eternal to get back that drag / burrow, which should be here soon. Miracle, on the other hand, are attempting to step up. You saw Judy go for a shadow charge, but Hasuops responds with the penetrating round, knocking him back.
They're going to be really careful about overextending with Nacho Jin here, as Team Liquid's positioning is so safe right now. Nice dodge here on that combo coming out from Frankel. It's Frankel's best hero in the meta right now, and he's struggling to find consistent damage because Team Liquid's positioning is just so good. Blue Beetle about to get this channel, though. Nice blocks here by Sniper and Judy. They will get it. And here comes the Brush Stalker. Sniper may fall for it, but they do get the core shots at least.
But with Eternal coming in from behind, they are looking for the trade. And this is something that Team Liquid will do often. They are willing to give up an ultra. If they can get one of you to overstep slightly, they will go for that trade on the kill and then go back to soaking. And you see where it's paying off in the experience. 9 3/4 to 8 3/4. Team Liquid about to hit that level 10, and this gives them the perfect opportunity to take that bell tower, which we've been pushing out to be such a vulnerable spot for Miracle.
I mean, this is where they really secure that. I mean, they can actually stick around here for a long time, push this completely 4-man down here. Dahaka's even making a walk down for the heavy contest to guarantee this because they have 10. They know Miracle can't fight. They know they don't have any disengage. They don't have Sundering right now to you know, flank and ruin this. Eternal's even being the one actually flanking.
Here we go. Hyperion comes in. This will give that push for Team Liquid. Drag connects again. Eternal's tongue is on point today. Another toss on Judy in the back line. He'll get silenced, but he's getting just enough heals, and Team Liquid will have to wait for the next wave before they continue this push.
They are going to grab this bell tower, though it looks inevitable at this point. The Hyperion doing so much setup damage, and Nacho Jin is just not here. He's trying to get them 10 so that this doesn't turn into a worse situation, but there's just simply nothing he can do to protect this bell tower. And it's such a problem when you're leaving Diablo 4-man loses this hard. You're the one who loses the bell tower. They have control. They've got the global on top of that. They lead in experience. And Miracle's really going to have to start the comeback now. Now that they have 10, now they have big explosive potential with Leeming resets with the stay a while and listen. This is where their comp really comes online.
Yes.
But you would have thought they would have controlled the 4-man a little bit better, and Team Liquid just did not allow that to happen.
I mean, the comp comes online at 10, but I would also say that Nacho Jin comes online at 10. His bunker usage is unmatched in the HGC. He knows how to stop a play from really forming from the opposing team with his bunker, so keep an eye on him for that. The rest of Miracle comes down, rotates, and grabs the ultra away from Team Liquid, who allowed for Dahaka to continue that double global soak. They also took the sappers too, so they can continue to focus on this part of the map. This is their linchpin for this match.
Absolutely, and this is their, you know, their defending point. This is their anchor, and they're going to play around it really well. Escorting these sappers would be nice, but it's just the pressure of the sappers that just helps to buy them time here while they have the global. You know, it's now rotating to the mid lane with Eternal over there on the Dahaka. But regardless, one shot goes through here. And we will see Miracle eventually start to push this back. They have Li Ming, so you always feel like, okay, I could toss a few skill shots into here and start wearing this down. But Team Liquid wants to commit heavily, in fact. Nice wave of force there.
Scorpion wants to find a pick here. He's trying to grab Sniper, but Judy steps up to eat that for him. Immediate damage comes out on Judy, but he is Diablo. Nice and Tank. He'll be able to back up, but you see the pressure that Team Liquid can put on them if they can find the flanks. Miracle brings all 5 down because they know they have to get this bell tower back.
Yeah, they really do. And remember, Brushtalker should be available shortly. Here it comes. Very, very quick bunker here, and that's going to eventually just be taken out. Team Liquid is winning this fight in flying colors right now. Stay while listen used defensively. Where is the follow-up? There just simply isn't any. There's a minion wave here to block leaving shots, and Team Liquid will guarantee a save on this bell tower.
Nacho Jin had to drop down that bunker early. Ooh, but Judy may have found a pick. Eternal gets tossed into the corner, into the kill zone, and down goes Dahaka, and that might be it. That's what Miracle was looking for. One pick.
Sniper, though, caught here, does not have any way out of this, no escape whatsoever. And it's just Team Liquid relentless with the pressure, no quarter here, not ever willing to give an edge, not ever willing to allow Miracle to start slowly taking that bell tower back.
Honestly, I'm so glad to see it from Team Liquid. We've seen time and time again on offline events where they have just not gotten their mojo going. And here in game on number 1, on day 1 here at the HGC, they're finding picks. They're taking a Korean team here in terms of grabbing a bell tower advantage over them. And now finally take a lead in the core shots. 29 to 21. Team Liquid goes back to controlling that bottom left part of the map.
Yeah, Frankel does help finally regain this bell tower in the interim while they were capturing the altar, but The 13 talent tier advantage stays, which means that Team Liquid is going to be uncontested here on this cap. And with Nacho Jin not having bunker until just this moment and having to deal with that pressure of the global, he wasn't here for the invade. They don't have a global. So, I mean, now Team Liquid just has their way with them.
Ooh, but the souls are pretty mightily stacked here for Judy. Is he going to fall? Backing up. Is it enough? The stairwells connects, but Diablo is reset, and that is massive for Team Liquid. They can continue to pick on that front line. Eternal tossed into the fight. Sniper dodges out as he runs the minions, but Team Liquid takes away the bell tower again.
Yep, so easily with the Hyperion pickup as well, which I think is such a smart choice for Hasselhoffs given this win condition for them. Just control this bell tower, control the macro. You already have the global. And this is just one cherry on top, I guess you could say, for what their comp is going to do now that they have all these advantages. Miracle's going to take a very risky boss call here, and Team Liquid does not have vision. They knew Brush Shocker was used just earlier, so there's not any way that Daka can come up here and scout this out. So that's actually going to be a pretty nice win here for Miracle. But what it doesn't do is take macro back. What it doesn't do is give them that experience deficit. So very small victory here.
Takes a small power play away from Team Liquid, but it's a good identification there by Miracle, realizing, okay, Team Liquid is on top of the Sapper control. They are watching those timings. So on the next one, we can make sure we set up as 5 around there, assume if we don't see anybody, they're doing Sappers, and take away the 4 points it could get. And it works out for Miracle, but they have to pay attention to this bottom lane that's being pushed in by Sappers, and Team Liquid is setting up for a massive play on both these altars.
Okay, they're committing the heavy rotation, and Sniper's coming up now. He hesitates, he actually rotates back down. Obviously, we do see the trade here massively in favor of Liquid with 5-3 split. But Sniper actually goes down to defend, so hesitation here, you can see in the picture-in-picture, he decides to try to clear the Sappers. Arcaner being aggressive here, Sundering is available. So they need to be careful about how much they commit. They're going for Judy, he's taunted here, nice combo setup. Say while Listen does help him survive. He's committing in, but there's no follow-up, he's rooted.
Ooh, but the potions are just enough. Look at the bottom left. Raynor actually all by himself as Hasso picked up by Franco. Franco comes in with the Calamity and helps secure the kill. And now we have a 5v4 Miracle. Look at the trade out some more, but they lose Sniper at the same time though. Judy going for the aggression on top of Sport Billy, who is taking the beating for his team.
Sport Billy has such a good understanding of how to utilize Garrosh's armor to really push the envelope as to how far he can go in, how many leaming shots he could tank for his team. And you know, if his positioning wasn't as good there, Franco gets some more resets off that bunker, and then suddenly they win the fight and get the bell tower back. But Sport Billy was really the MVP there, and making sure that no follow-up kills did occur after that initial fall of Hasu.
Team Liquid loses Raynor, but they still keep control of the bell tower, which is again their main focus. Textbook play here from Europe. Control a part of the battleground, hold those Sappers, and just slowly bleed out your opponent. Pulse bombs being tossed out, and those aren't any kills, but that's the idea behind Tracer. Just try to keep your opponent on the back foot, playing defensive, while Team Liquid sets up for the next Sapper again.
Well, you know, when you hold a pulse bomb for a certain period of time, you feel like, well, I could have used that and built another one by now, so I might as well go ahead and maybe force him to hearth back or set up a play, and I'll have my pulse bomb up again soon. You can see on the UI there under Tracer that it's already getting close to another one. But Team Liquid it just has total control over this game. I think it's going to take a really heavy engage by Sniper, a flank, something that they don't see coming to get Miracle back in this game. Otherwise, Team Liquid, if they just continue to play safe and control that bottom bell tower, how can Miracle hope to return here? Eternal gets this for free. We're going to see the engage on the Sport Billy, but he's got that armor. Again, he knows how to push the envelope here with Garrosh. Cleanse going to save him. He's not caught by that stairwell. Listen, bunker used super early here, completely wasted. And Team Liquid's in fantastic position now to commit to channeling this second altar.
Miracle just hoping to control that altar for a little bit longer while we had Franco working on level 16 and that bell tower on the bottom. 16 is about to finally connect, and Team Liquid identifies this. They back up, soak up in the middle, but move immediately back to the game plan. Grab these Sappers, keep up the pressure on the bottom lane. They don't mind losing that altar. They just want to make sure that they continue to focus on this bottom lane. And look at the results right now. 19-6 in shots. Team Liquid is 1-2 altar phases away from getting this win.
Yeah, if they get any of these Sappers through, it just becomes
Nacho
huge commitment here. He is toast, and that's just simply too many isolated kills here.
That's the life of a solo laner right there. We need to double soak. I got to keep us in the game. Wait a minute. Why is there 5 people here? It's one of those things that occasionally happens. And unfortunately for Nacho Jin, he gets picked off, and now Team Liquid continues to have that lead here. But it's starting to be slowed down slightly here. Ooh, a throw gets tossed in, goes in for a drag. There's going to be a toss on top of Judy.
Okay, we do see the pulse bomb and the silence here. Everything committed to Judy right now, but he's got those heals coming through. They keep him alive. Stay a while. Listen is good here. A-Pop committed to try to get those linked together. Can Franco get a reset? He gets the first one. And he get a second. Oh, the Wave of Force anti-synergy there does not actually set up his combo. I think Sportbilly would have escaped either way. Huge potential here if they can get a second kill, but Judy, way too far forward, is going to have to retreat, and I think that's going to be the end of this engage. Frankel has to teleport away. And they wanted so much more, they needed so much more than that initial kill on Eternal. That one alone is not going to be enough. And there's always this potential of the floodgates opening when Li Ming gets a second kill, and they were so close. But just like Tychus, they didn't get there in the end.
The one pick, though, is a nice big breath here for Miracle. With the Altar spawning on the bottom, only one being there, Miracle finally has a base of operations they can run back to and tap if they need to and fight around this Altar. So they should be able to contest Team Liquid while Team Liquid still waits for Dahaka, who, by the way, used his essence in that last fight. So if he comes in for a flank, he actually can get picked off.
Remember, Miracle also was their weak point throughout 2017, but in 2018, their strength is in the Supreme late game. We're getting closer to 20. They actually did get an experienced lead from that extra soak and that team fight win. Their late game is Supreme. Diablo does finish at 1607 here, that quest. So, I mean, this is an opportunity to really turn this game on its head, maintain that advantage. Team Liquid has to respect them now. They no longer have that anchor. They no longer have this force on the mini-map that's always forcing Miracle to deal with the bell tower, which is how this game is played on this map at the professional level. So we're on an even playing field. That core health doesn't matter until it hits 0. So if Miracle can take better engages just like they did previously, especially defensively, then they absolutely could return into this game.
And a big pickup that's going to be important for these team fights we had to late game is going to be that Thunderstorm at level 16 for Thrall. If there's ever a fight where we get that Li Ming reset and Thunderstorm pops off on Team Liquid, they are not going to have an easy time retreating away from that fight, especially if Nature's Cure has already been used. So Miracle will be looking to use that slow to make sure that Frankel can win these team fights. We are certainly going to an intense late game right now.
Oh, we certainly are. And Judy's finally hit the end of that quest, so he's finally fully online. And he's got this massive health pool. If he gets picked, obviously that's going to be massive for Team Liquid. That's the most valuable kill, is to get those souls gone. But now, for the first time, Li Ming shoots skill shots at this bell tower. Miracle is starting to make their presence known on the map. We see Nitrogen rotating down. They want to commit heavily. Sportsbilly just doing what he can to block this damage. Arcaner's going to have to tap.
But
Zapper.
Team Liquid is stopping these floodgates.
Hasu!
They put time for Dahaka. Hasu's able to get out just barely. Frankel gets hit with a pulse bomb. He walks away, but Judy thrown into the fort. He gets hit with the
bunker,
He's
though.
low on health. The bunker, will it be enough?
Okay, he's going to have to stay in there, but I don't think he can live. He does just barely get out. He dodges the Groundbreaker. Sleep goes off here.
Isolation. Eternal has a drag. Can he follow it up? Sportbilly trying to chase. He'll have a combo in a couple seconds. Eternal tossing the fight. Misses the drag.
This is the drag that's so huge. That might have just been the pick they needed. Altars spawn towards the top of the map. 20 not available for either team here. It's not going to get hit. Arcaner is committed to here. Frankel with the trust. Nice zoning.
Team
Scroll
Liquid
of Ceiling
is slowing down Miracle. They have sent immediately Eternal to the top right corner. He wants to get this altar. That's 4 shots easily, which will put Miracle down to level 2 shots on that core. Miracle should be able to finally get over towards their altar, and I don't think Team Liquid will contest, especially not being level 20. But a small movement there by Team Liquid extends that lead.
And notice Eternal is going to the top lane. He's trying to push for that 20. They only need one more objective, and this map is theirs. They can close it out. It's a scary time for Team Liquid for the first time in this game, where they no longer have that full macro control over the map. But the threat of the core health, the 2 shots left, means they're just looking for that fight. If they can get 20 and start this boss, they win the game. So Miracle has to play around that. And that's the edge Team Liquid has right now.
Starting that boss might be risky. Team Liquid right now, if you look at them, they're in a state where they have that checkmate currently in vision. If you look at all the bell towers, top all the way to the bottom, have some damage. Sapper Camp, 1 or 2 get through. Suddenly we lose a bell tower from Miracle, and they are once again in a spot where they have no map control. Miracle is going to start a boss play here on the top left. They realize that Team Liquid is taking the bell tower. So Team Liquid gives up 4 shots in exchange for map control.
Yeah, and this is actually a worthwhile trade, I think, for Team
100%.
Liquid. Miracle feels terrible about taking this boss. They had to take it so that there's not another win condition for Team Liquid. If something goes wrong, or if they trade improperly with Heroics, for example, and then Team Liquid has this advantage, it can go really, really bad for them. It can end the game, as mentioned earlier. So they get this, but it doesn't feel like a win. It feels like, okay, well, we're still alive. We still have this opportunity, if we win every fight from here on out, to come back. It's going to be the double altar in bottom here. Could we see an engage from Sniper? He's not at a flanking position. Eternal comes down here. They're just trying to hold on to this bell tower.
Mirror Ball will keep being shelled away, though, by Frankel in that bottom left corner, trying to take it away. Even a couple wolves being thrown in by Miracle, and there it is. Team Liquid stepping
Okay,
back.
look at Nitrogen though. He's going for the flank. Arcaner cannot get caught by this. That could be the opening they need.
He's trying to get out there, but Nitrogen unable to connect with it. Billy steps up, gets a huge groundbreaker into the taunt. They're gonna have a bunk at the last second, but we couldn't get Decker Kane in. It's Billy trying to retreat, gets the groundbreaker, gets the shields. Will he fall? He does.
First kill here for Franco means he gets a reset, but Arcaner only goes down to half health. They don't get the follow. But
Arcaner!
he commits, and that's another reset here. He's going in now onto the third. Nitrogen's mounted and ready to commit further to this fight. Frankel's got a lot of power in this exact moment here. Team Liquid has to respect this, otherwise they're going to lose a bell tower. They may lose it regardless here, but what a moment here. Judy makes that commitment, and suddenly this is anyone's game, and they're committing in now with the APAC. Nice burrow from Eternal, may save him here.
Any tongues? Will he be able to land one? If he could get Sniper, that'd be huge, but Team Liquid is fighting a 3v4. The only saving grace is that Miracle does not have their support.
Okay, they have to win this fight. They have to
Drag.
win this fight now. Drag committed, hot swabs.
Frankel!
Frankel's gonna get a reset here, and now he's low on health, but it doesn't matter. He's committing in. Nurok, there's nothing he can do. Caught over. The comeback here of Miracle, I've seen it 1,000 times on this map. Swabs, everyone's low. Could he end up killing everyone? He's gonna have to prevent Sniper from the channeling first. Nurok does hit that Moonfire.
Swab steps up, has that penetrating round. There goes
Sundering.
Sundering. Nurok kites to the top right, and we have Blue Beetle
Respawns
back.
are coming through. Respawns are coming through, and everyone's coming in with full health. This is actually so intense right now.
Whoa, fooled me. I don't know how to handle this here. Billy steps up.
Miracle's hitting the well. They're committing to the well, but Arcaner's back now. Nurok's coming through. What a crazy finish here. The taunt is committed. The bunker's up here. Oh, so close. Blue Beetle does get in there. Franco needs to do the damage, but Arcaner does blink away. Franco gets the first kill. Is it going to be 2 and 2? And when does it get a third reset here on the Smart Billy? That is going to be pretty much it here. Blue just got the channel, and that is game. Miracle with the comeback win here. Down so much core health. This team is, I will say it right now, the best team in the world at late game. Their late game was their weakness for over a year and a half, and I feel like this was a weak performance. They're not going to be happy about this game, but they just showed the world on an international stage, and for 3 of these players, their very first time, that they can win late game. This is their map. You better ban it if you're going to play against them in your next series.
What was it, 19-7, and yet Miracle turns it around and brings it back, gets the win over Team Liquid. Incredible play by them. Let's go to our analyst desk with Gilly and the rest of the crew as they talk about that match.
Well, if you needed a game to wake you up, that was it. That's why we love Towers of Doom, because it's never over until it's over.
That was absolutely insane. Team Liquid, such a dominant early game.
Yeah.
But it all came down to like the retaking of the fort so many times in the bottom lane, re-grabbing the bell tower for extra XP, and a couple kills. That little bit of comeback XP and then just good late game management just put Miracle in such a good position, and then just some insane plays, some insane control of their emotions in the late game.
Yeah, the take back of the bell tower at the end was crucial. Not only that, but rotating up so they could get the boss, all of that, those rotations had to be swift. They had to happen, and Miracle was proving they could do that, and proving they can do that being down the first game to an opponent that does seem scary to a lot of the Korean teams. What was the big turnaround point for you, Jay-How?
Well, I mean, Team Liquid seemed to be in control. That boss play, the rotation, everything led to that bottom skirmish. And that's where things turned around, because it seemed like the minute they popped Deckard, all of a sudden it looked like Team Liquid might be able to close it out right then and there. We're actually going to take a look at that so we can see where the turnaround play happened. This was really cool to watch for me, because you can already see that Deckard, he's dead. I mean, he's no longer a part of this. Sport Billy, he's a little low, but he's Garrosh. Everybody else, though, when you look at the total thing of going on here with, this is the key target, Arcaner, right? Everything looks good from here. Nurok, he's trying to dip out and get this back door, but then you're going to have everybody else come in, because you're going to see Nacho Jin, he's going to come down. So as we play it forward, it's like, all right, I've got to get over here. I know that there's a fight going on. Garrosh ends up getting popped, but here's my favorite play of the game right now, because we're actually going to have the level 20, the Hellgate, picked up by Diablo. Now keep an eye on Judy, because his position is paramount to making this happen. Nacho Jin makes his way over, but here comes the big play. Remember what I told you guys about Diablo versus Tracer? Well, it's time to make that happen, because you can clearly see that Arcaner, he's coming in, he's trying to make the play, but watch the bolt in by Judy. He's going to create an angle and get this stun in, and this is where things really turned around. The bolt over into that explosion right there was like, oh, wait a minute. It seemed like we've got that 4-on-4, that 5-on-4, no Deckard. Maybe you can close it out. Maybe that's the time. But that was a turning point. Judy made a clutch play there to create the angle tingle because you don't see it coming. You know that you're okay. It's a tense moment, but everything right there was just so clutch, Gilly.
And there were a lot of moments from then on where the team understood that while they didn't have Blue Beetle, they still had dominance on Li Ming. And as long as they could keep getting resets, Franco continued to have just enough health to keep bringing in the damage. And that's that space that I talk about that this team is so good at creating. Yeah, things like Nacho Jin getting caught, Sniper getting caught in the early game, but if this team can clean up those kinds of things, Tetcher, they could make a run.
Absolutely. And you talked about Blue Beetle going down and using the dominance. That was so effective where they were able to separate out Narok and Hasu by just keeping them away and then just put Li Ming on the side with the Malfurion so she can't kill him, and then just killed off the last remaining member and got the dominance so no one could kill Li Ming. It was so well executed, just the positioning and late game control of Miracle.
Well, I have an interesting update for you guys. We had our first stream on first match on the alternate stream. Tempest and the One played against each other, and it ended 1-1.
What?
The One took a game off of Tempest. It's crazy. On Sky Temple, we'll definitely be checking in to see exactly what happened with that. But I see just a beaming Tetcher. Chinese caster.
I popped in during the game and I saw that they had like a low bottom fort and a boss being taken by Tempest, but the One did have Illidan. He was doing some really cool split push stuff, so I want to go back and watch that because the One are so good at making those turnaround plays with Illidan, so I want to go back and see that.
Well, we've got more awesome things to watch too. Miracle versus Team Liquid is not over yet. We'll be back with more after a word from our sponsors.